Uncle Al, Dive Bullfrog 79, welcome. How are you doing today? KP Heathen, greetings. Utah Mike. Hey, family comes first. I certainly understand, Utah Mike. Thank you. Please leave a like to support the channel. That will be greatly appreciated. Oh, broke another tooth. God bless you. Four in the house, 4 likes. Well, I hope where you're at, the weather allows you to get out to the store and that there are no shortages. Creative redundancy, welcome. I know out in California where they're having the fires, I know they're probably going to be having some shortage problems. I feel for those poor people. So I'm showing 7 likes and 3 in the house. Yes, well, Uncle Al says don't beat a dead horse. And I've been talking about all the problems that they're having. They are having water problems. They are having fresh water problems. And they are having they're going to have a lot of problems. A lot of times, places it's not safe to drink the tap water. You might think, well, you got water. I don't know. I have not been checking the news to see if they're putting out warnings about the water. But down in Corpus Christi, where I lived my first 40 years, they would periodically put out notices that it wasn't safe to drink the tap water. They would say, well, you need to boil it or, don't drink it. And after my encounter with a kidney stone, I was told don't drink tap water. Too many minerals. Just drink bottled water, purified water. Hello, Dave. How's it going? I was advised by a very wise man that I should ask you about using a smartphone to create a thumbnail. Using a smartphone to create a thumbnail. Devil Dog Prepper. How are you doing? You use the app Pronto to create my thumbnails for my channel. Oh, I take a picture, an image, and I load it up as my thumbnail. I usually take an image, what am I wearing today, take a picture, and that's my thumbnail. I mean, I haven't been putting any graphics on it or doing any voodoo or anything to it. The algorithm doesn't always take that and go with that. Even though I load it up as a custom thumbnail, the algorithm doesn't always, sometimes it will load something that has me grimacing or with my eyes closed, or I'm in a funny pose, or something stupid. And so that's what you get for artificial intelligence. But I was advised to the app Pronto. Probably need to look into that. Pronto. Fronto. PHON, Fonto. Yes, I have your phone number, and one of these days, probably over the weekend when I have time, I'll call you. I go back to work tomorrow. Tomorrow I go back to work, and they're sending out emails. They want to do the common-based assessments tomorrow for all 4 subjects. So my day tomorrow is going to be meetings and trying to do CBAs. And hopefully I won't be haunted by administration tomorrow. Hopefully my kids will cooperate. One of the things that they don't always take in consideration, when the kids are acting up, I'm basically just trying to deal with kid behavior, trying to deal with whoever's having their episode. It's hard to do other things. Smart people understand that. But I'm not always dealing with smart people. And it is what it is. 5 watching and 10 likes. Well, thank you, Uncle Al. We are going on 11 minutes into the live stream. Yeah, so I don't really think supply trucks want to get anywhere near fire. So those areas where they got the fires burning, you're going to have a difficult time getting deliveries into stores. Also, if they're anticipating that the fire can overrun the locations, then some of these stores are shut down. They're not going to be open. That's just like, we had the freeze. We had a real bad freeze the last couple of days, and there's been a lot of stuff that's been shut down. Walmart was open, but like yesterday, I told the wife, we'll just go into, she was going to go to Walmart, she says, go into Subway, just get us like a 12-inch sub and have them cut it in half, and we'll eat a 12-inch sub with some chips. Subway was closed. So, no Subways. Well, it's true. We depend on containers that they ship from different places. Get these big ships with containers, and they transit, and they've got to be unloaded, and they're subject to bad weather. People don't show up for work. Sickness, people don't show up for work. Striking, people don't show up for work. They've had a lot of problems trying to get stuff unloaded. Then you get into the situation. Yeah, it's hard to grow food without water. And they don't take into consideration a lot of the stuff that's going on. They don't. They do not take into consideration a lot of stuff going on. My daughter came over this afternoon, and we were talking. I said, I need to get together with you and your husband, and we need to talk budgeting. We need to talk about bills, and we need to talk about budgeting. I said, do y'all have a joint account? Yeah, we started a joint account. So I told her, both of you need to put half of your pay in your joint account. The other half goes into your individual account. And we started a savings account. We got a savings account started. And I told her, well, we need to start you a savings account with the teacher credit union. I qualify for teacher's credit union, so my kid, I can get her an account. And once she has an account started, whether I'm working or not, she'll be able to keep that account. Mom of 4 boys. Hello, Mom of 4 boys. And little lone prepper. Hello. Not paying attention, talking. Hope you ladies are doing well this evening. So, disruptions. The idea of, shortage. We can't get milk, and we can't get bread. We can't get water. They did a run on toilet paper. So why should that be a problem to you? Do you have a supply of powdered freeze-dried milk? You have a supply of freeze-dried coffee? What about water? You have a supply of drinking water? You should have all that taken care of. Are you prepared? If you have been listening to me or anybody else who talks about being prepared, they will tell you this is something that you start doing and you just proceed. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. This is something you should do a little bit every week, every payday, every month. It's like building up a savings account or building up a supply of, you might need to have an emergency fund in case you lose your job. Your employment terminates and you still got bills to pay. They say you should have at least 2 months of expenses saved up. Better to have 6 months, but at least 2 months. Allows you, in case of transition, for you to be able to find new employment and make sure that the bills are getting paid. Seven in the house, 12 likes I'm showing. Yeah, everything's awesome until it gets interrupted. Somebody was telling me about, well, I don't have a means to heat water. I can't heat water. I can't make my coffee. I can't heat water for freeze-dried food and such. I can't do any of this and such. Well, it doesn't cost a lot to have a emergency stove. This was $5 for 2 cans of sterno. It's a 2-pack of sterno. This will burn for a total of 4.5 hours. And it takes a little less than 15 minutes to boil water. You boil water, put it out. Boil water, put it out. Boil water, put it out. So you can light these up and boil water 16 times. At least 16 times with these 2 cans. And this is $5. Now, frankly, I send those to people, but this is what I use. Canned heat. I get it at Sam's Club. Safe heat chafing fuel. 7.92 fluid ounces. 6 hours. I can light this, it'll burn for 6 hours. I light it, put it out. Light it, put it out. Light it, put it out. Get 12 packs. Got a bunch of 12 packs. Again, takes less than 15 minutes to boil water. So at 6 hours, 6 times 4, 4 times in an hour times 6, 24. 24 times I can light it up, boil water, put it out, at least 24 times. You buy these by the 12-pack. The 12-pack is about $30. Not rocket science. And you have a little stove. And you want a couple of them. You want to have a couple of these because you want to be able to use a couple at once. especially if you're heating water for multiple people. These, again, they use fuel tabs, and they come with 24 fuel tabs. It's not expensive. You get the 24 pack of fuel tabs for like $5. They come with 24. When I send those out to people, I send them with an extra, so you get 48 fuel tabs. And then your homework is to get you some more. You know, I'm getting you started. But I mean, even, you know, when we start talking about just sending you that, and that'll get you through a couple of emergencies. Just what I send you would get you through a couple of emergencies. It is not that expensive. I mean, that's like for one of each of those, the spare fuel, 10, 35, about $35. You know, it's not that much. Yep, lids help. I mean, organization's the key to everything. This is a battery daddy. You know, organization's important. A butane stove. Uncle Al said show the butane stove. It's just dusty as hell. Not expensive. And you put butane cylinder in it. Colbin. Not expensive. Oh, shoot. All right, David. Not expensive, not heavy. Butane stove. And then you use butane. Gotta have plenty of butane. I have more than this, but that's what I got out that I haven't put up. I mean, that stove was like $30, $35. It's not that expensive. Yeah, thermos. Great for holding hot water, coffee, hot tea. So in addition to the stove, and I've got different ones, I've got an S-bit as well. It uses tabs. You want to have a couple of these. This is like a Stanley 20 ounce a cup, stainless. These are stainless. You have your sachets of whatever your beverage is, and or your tea bags or your coffee bags or whatever, and you use that. You know, put the boiling water in it, or heat your water boiling in it, and then use it for, you know, or having a stainless steel cook set. Not expensive. I've got all that stuff. I got Stanley. I've got some stuff that was made in China. It's good quality steel. It's just it was made in China. Um, yep. For coffee, freeze dried food, and such. Oh, and I mean, and I've got other ones that are small that you basically um, can use almost like toys. To me, it's just like I'll go out and I'll use it and just play with it. Boil some water. I really need to do some more videos. It's been a while since I've done any videos showing the use of the stuff, where I actually, you know, do it. But if you look at some of my older videos, I mean, I use these things that I have. I demonstrate them. The little ones that I showed you, like the folding stove or the emergency stove, those are very portable. An Espet's very portable. You can have that in your back. It's very, very lightweight and very portable. But it's like, okay, we're going to go on a picnic, or we're out overnight. You know, something happened. We're out overnight. We're 10 miles from the house. We're not going to get home. So we basically use it to boil some water for coffee or tea, or maybe we've got a freeze-dried meal that we want to reconstitute, a mountain house or something, and you use it to boil 10, 12 ounces of water for, reconstitute your meal. A lot of the stuff that you have, it's not heavy duty, so you're not going to use it for 20 years. It's not going to last 20 years. The stainless steel stuff I'm showing you will last for 20 years. You know, you use it, you clean it, and you're ready to use it again. But some of the items, like the Espet, will last you forever. You just got to have the fuel tabs, or you can have the ones that are a little bit bigger that will burn wood, and you just collect your little twigs and various things, dried wood, and your fire starter, whatever you use, and you use wood. You basically feed wood into it. If you got tabs, you use your tabs. Now, tabs is something you want to use outside because it smells. It doesn't smell the best in the world, tabs. Six in the house, 11 likes. And we are 30 minutes into our live stream. So I'll be getting the box for buying space out, and then I need to prep up the box for Devil Dog Prepper and get his box out. I was actually going to do Devil Dog Preppers first, but I hadn't heard from him recently, so I said, Buying Space is, always coming in. I'm going to go ahead and do her, and then I'll do Devil Dog Prepper. And I got the items for both boxes. Her box is ready. I'll do a video. I'll load his up, and I'll do a video. And I'll be getting his out. I'll try to get his video done this weekend, his box loaded this weekend. So I'll hopefully get her box out tomorrow or the next day. And then I'll get his box out, hopefully the early part of this next week. And, and I put stuff in them that I enjoy, that I use. Inexpensive stuff, the different coffees that I little packets of coffee packets. They're inexpensive. I get them at like Walmart, HEB. I order them, the sachets. I like the Crystal Light. I like the lemonade. I like the grape. The sauces. I use a lot of Cholula, and I use a lot of Tabasco. And you can use those for heat. They make a little heater that'll take 3 of them, and you can also use it as a cook stop. You can put your pan up on top of it and make your eggs, or whatever you're going to do. Boil your water. Multifunctioned. The important thing is to be prepared with the basics. Don't panic. You can say, well, I need this, and I need this, and I need this, and I need this. What do you actually need? To begin, you need the basics. Water, clean water. It's not hard to store water. It's not expensive to store water. Food. Doesn't have to be expensive. You just buy what you use that you don't have to refrigerate. Buy extra. You take medication, make sure you keep a supply of your medication on hand. Don't be in the situation where you've only got a week's worth, and your emergency happens, you run out, and you don't take it. Remain calm. That's right. CR, remain calm. Don't panic. Hygiene. Something happens, your hygiene. If you need to go, relieve yourself. That's right. Keep making progress. Like you start talking about, FEMA says you need to have a week's supply. Okay, you get a week's supply, work for 2. Got 2 weeks supply, work for 3, work for a month. Because in a real serious emergency, it may be a month. It may be a month. Yeah, right. And I've said this before, and I've heard this said before. The hospital, they don't want to see you unless you're really, unless you're super, super sick or you're super, super injured. They don't want to see you. Oh, well, I'm hungry. They're not there for that. I was talking to a little girl on her live stream, and I said, what would you do in an emergency? Hello, Belinda. Thank you for coming. Belinda's Country Living. What do you do in emergency? And she had said, well, she'd go to the hospital. I said, no, that's not what it's for, and they're not going to want you. They're going to turn you away. And then she said, well, I'd go to my parents, which is a good idea, provided your parents are anticipating taking care of you. Like, okay, so I have my daughter who lives near me, and her husband now, and my wife, so there's 4 of us, plus the dogs. So I have been, for the longest time, anticipating being prepared for 4 people. So if I say, well, you know, I could probably keep us going for a couple of years in the food. I got maybe a 6-month supply of my medication. I got lots of drinking water. We're not going to need any drinking water for a couple of months at least. Well, you know, certain places there are water shortages. Certain places there are water shortages. They don't have a lot of water. Now, having a water well, if you're out in the boonies and you got a water well and you got a manual pump to it, like people get, or they have, it's a good idea to buy a place that has a well already, a working well on it. And then what I would do is I would have them install a manual pump. In addition to the electric pump that you have, I'd have a manual pump. So if there's a problem, you can pump it out. You can pump water out. And then the idea of your power supply for it, if you've got a generator or if you've got a solar setup where you can actually, you've got the 220 for a 220 pump, you've got an inverter that can run a 220 pump so that you can turn the thing on when you need it, use it when you need it, pumping your water. I've got a well and I need to have it reworked. I need to have a new pump on it. I need to have it, you know, it has need if I'm going to stay where I'm at. And it was a shallow well, so it's very hard water. You'd have to do some serious filtering with it. Uh, 6 in the house, 13 likes. A 376-gallon IBC tank. You might look into what it would take to get the thing reactivated or it'd start working again. Might want to look into that. I do not know what's going on with my shorts. I've put out 4 or 5 shorts and they're not getting too many views. I think the algorithm's messing with me. And I've got enough stuff right now that I could probably put out 15 shorts if I wanted to. I could probably burst out with just shorts. But I try to limit it to 2 or 3 a day. And I don't know. They're not getting that many views. I mean, the people who are viewing them are largely the people that come onto my live streams normally um, that normally watch my stuff. Those are the ones that are watching my shorts right now with a few extras. It just, I don't think the algorithm's not pushing it out. I have 60 gallons. Yeah, about 60 gallons right there over in the corner. 3-gallon bottles, plastic ones, stackables. I got them stacked 3 high. And I've got 2 5-gallon ones that are stacked. And then I've got a separate jug, 6-gallon jug that has 5 gallons of water. So I got 60 gallons in the corner right there. And then we got a bunch more in other places. Well, that's good. Good to have well water. Good to have well water. You know, and then you start thinking about it. Okay, well, we got a pretty good supply of water for consumption. It'll last a long time. You know, drinking water, prep food. You're going to use a lot of water if you're bathing. Think 3 to 5 gallons a pop if you're basically trying to bathe. Say you do it twice a week. Say that's 10 gallons of water a week per person. That's 20 gallons of water for 4 people. To take 2 decent showers a week. Try to stay relatively clean. Think about that. 5 weeks, you'd use 100 gallons. You know, you have to think about what are you doing. Most people, they're real good at a 3 or 4 day emergency. There's a hurricane, there's a freeze. They're real good at those short-term emergencies. But when you start thinking long-term emergency, then you got to really do some planning. You really need to look at it. Got to really watch the replay. 13 likes, 6 in the house. 45 minutes in. Thank you, Food Forest Permaculture. Appreciate the thumbs up. So how are things up in the socialist paradise? One of the things that I'm looking forward to, Trump has declared the cartels a terrorist organization, which means you can anticipate our military getting involved. That's going to be interesting to see. It's also going to be interesting to see if they decide to come up here and try to retaliate. You know, we go down there and hit them. If they try to come back up here and hit us or hit some of our soft assets, now that would probably really cause a war with Mexico if they were to come up here and hit us. Back in the days, 100 years ago, Pancho Villa, the revolutionaries down in Mexico, the banditos, they did some raiding along the border. They came in along the border and they did some raiding, and they killed some people. They did a little damage. They robbed stores and banks. And they wild boar, does it like javelina, wild hog, javelina hog, those hairy bastards. Excuse my language. Yeah, they can be really gamey, and they got glands that you got to cut in their neck, or they, messes up the meat. But that would be scary if you start having incidents, along the border. That will be real scary. And that would basically put you in a martial law situation. And right now, you've already got them using the military. They're starting to use the military now, trying to secure the border. And they are building along the border. I've thought about sending some clips that sharing out some clips that I've viewed. Little 15, 20-second clips showing the construction that's going on. Like Texas is actively building in several areas. They're actively building wall. And the figures that I've heard is that it's about $25 million a mile. And they can build about half a mile a week where they're building at these different sites. The crews there, they can do about half a mile a week. And they're using materials that they got from the government that they were trying to sell off, that the court stopped the Biden administration from selling off materials that had been purchased under the former Trump administration that was to be used for that they'd paid for. They'd already funded out, a couple hundred miles of border wall. And Biden shut that down and then tried to sell off the stuff. And they're trying to sell it off at like a dime on the pennies on the dollar. Hello, Melinda Elliott. How are you doing? Thank you for coming in. Yeah, I hear you. I use iMovie. And iMovie is good for editing. And I can do some stuff with it, and I can do some I can put subtitles, titles, and I can do some stuff with it. And do music with it, put music in it. Yeah, having editing software, until you learn how to use it. Like I edit my stuff on my phone. I edit on my phone. I shoot on my phone. I edit on my phone. Um, I guess using an Apple, using a Mac, a computer, you can do more with it. But I'm old school. Like right now, I'm using my 10th generation iPad that I'm basically doing my live stream, and that I'm looking at comments on my iPhone 12. I don't see that well, so trying to, look up there, and it is what it is. I'll try to give you some love, Howie. So, 9 in the house, 15 likes. The the important thing, um, well, you have to consider what you're dealing with. Everything, you have to look at what you're dealing with. So, my daughter went down to Corpus for a jiu-jitsu tournament last Saturday. Her new husband's little brother, who's 16 years old, is a blue belt, and he went down to a tournament. And he is 140 pounds. Um, he's a good sized kid for 16. He competed against the blue belt, 26-year-old, probably about 220 pounds. And with jiu-jitsu, they do a lot of physical, like takedowns and wrestling and such with it. Holds and takedowns and wrestling, largely. And she said that the guy tore him up, flipped him, took him down, jumped on him, and, he lost. Well, he was fighting out of his weight. And this is amateur, that if this was actually professional competition type stuff, they've got weight classes. And when I was actively involved in Taekwondo, I'd go to tournaments and I would compete in tournaments. And I would basically compete on forms, like the presentation of doing a form. I was not doing like contact. I was not doing sparring contact, in competitions. Now, yeah, you do it for your belt advancements, and you do it as you're working your belts. But I wouldn't, I was 40 years old, and I wasn't. Um, but I've seen situations where you've got a young 18, 20-year-old kid who just got his black belt or her black belt. I mean, range of motion, um, speed. What you look at, power, muscle memory. First degree black belt, just fresh out, first degree black belt. Been working on it for like 3 years. And they go into a tournament and they spar with the third degree. That's my age, 40-year-old third degree. And maybe size-wise, they're about the same size, but the third degree is not in shape. Probably has 60, 50, 60 pounds of, dad bod or mom bod or whatever. And I've seen a 18, 20-year-old kid whoop somebody, third degree black belt, third degree black belt. I've seen that happen. I mean, embarrass them, knock them on their butt. And that happens. That happens. So you have to plan. Take care of Uncle Al. So you have to plan, and you have to consider what you're dealing with. So nowadays, if I was in a situation where I had to defend myself, I'm out and about someplace and I have to defend myself. If I'm armed, I'm pulling out the weapon. I'm not going to try to barehand them if I can avoid it, because I can't do what I used to do. I can't do what I used to do 20 years ago. I don't have the strength. I don't exercise the way I used to exercise. I certainly don't have the speed. I probably couldn't take a punch the way I used to be able to take a punch. It used to be you hit me, you were asking to die because you pissed me off. You get a hit in on me, oh yes, I'm going to get you. Back in the days. And that's why, like, okay, you have a taser. Well, you got to be able to make contact with them. You got a hand taser. Got to be able to touch them. You got pepper gel, pepper spray. Got to be fairly close. Got to hit bare skin. Hopefully the face. Watch out which way the wind's blowing. My recommendation is to just get a 5 or a 6 shot revolver, 38 special. Point and shoot. Have it loaded with hollow points. 3-inch barrel. 3-inch barrel. Yeah, and people are thin-skinned these days. You got all these road rage incidents. And then you got people who, they don't fear God. They don't fear judgment. They want to go out with a bang. They want to take people with them. They want to go out and they want to take people with them. Or they don't think. They just rage, and they don't think about, the consequences for what they do. They're not afraid to attack a woman. They're not. Hell, they'll attack a child. I mean, they don't have a soul. 6 in the house, 15 likes. Oh, that's horrible. When my daughter turned 21, I bought her a Glock 9mm, and she got her concealed carry, her carry license. Now, Texas is open carry, concealed carry. You don't have to have a license. It's just carry state. Painful losing a Glock. I think if you want to get a new one, about $600, maybe more. I don't know. That is not cheap. Ouch. Ouch. So, I'm glad you're joking. That would not be cheap. So, Devil Dog, I will be working on your box this weekend to get out. I'll get out this next week. I got Buying Spaces box ready. It's going to be mailed out hopefully tomorrow. If I don't have a meeting after school, we'll see. When I get up in the morning, I thank God for the day. I take my medication, drink a cup of coffee, say the Lord's Prayer, contemplate what I got to do, and treat people the way you want to be treated. Lead by example. Be cognizant of what's going on around you. And I believe in the Scout motto, be prepared. I was a Scout. And yeah, I would hate to be in a situation where some idiot have to shoot some idiot because they got mad at me. I don't drive as fast as I used to. I don't drive real fast. I drive under the speed limit. You get people, they want to race around you. They just race to a red light, slam on their brakes. You pull up next to them. Light turns green. They slam on the accelerator, peel out. Think about all the gas they're wasting. I have that happen all the time. So, everybody, I will try to be back tomorrow for another edition. If not, I'll do a post. Look at my shorts, please. Check for my community posts. I post goodbyes and stuff. I posted some good weather pictures. I did some good weather shorts. And try to give my stuff some love. Everybody, please remember to be prepared and have a blessed day. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for another edition of Coffee Talk. Bye-bye, and thank you.